12 cases, 12 discoveries that shatter what we think we know about our world, objects that shouldn't exist, phenomena that break physics, evidence that rewrites history, scientists with decades of training, state-of-the-art equipment, peer review processes, and they're stumped. Not confused, not theorizing, stumped. What happens when the smartest people on Earth find something that makes no sense? If you value documented scientific mysteries like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also, comment from which city you're hearing this from. This script is researched and factual, using sources from peer-reviewed journals and official archaeological reports. Now back to the story. Number 1. The Antikythera mechanism, recovered 1901, 60 meters down off the Greek island of Antikythera. Captain Dimitrios Kondos and his sponge divers discover bronze fragments in a Roman shipwreck dated between 70-60 BCE. Not simple gears, a computer. 37 meshing bronze wheels that calculate planetary positions, predict eclipses, track the 4-year Olympic cycle. X-ray tomography by Tony Freeth's research team reveals inscriptions mentioning Venus and Mars in ancient Greek script. The thing dates to 150 BCE, making it the world's first analog computer by over 1,000 years. Bronze Age Greeks built computational devices, while Europe was learning to make iron tools. Michael Wright's reconstruction at Imperial College London shows accuracy within 1 degree for Mercury's position over decades. The mechanism predicts solar eclipses visible from roads with month-day precision. Cicero wrote about Archimedes making a kind of globe that showed celestial motions, but nobody believed the technology existed. Gear train ratios match ancient Greek astronomical calculations exactly. Derek DeSola Price's Yale University analysis identifies 223-month Saros eclipse cycle programming, 115 fragments recovered, 82 bronze gears reconstructed, zero explanation for how Bronze Age metalworkers achieved precision manufacturing that wouldn't return until Swiss clockmakers 17 centuries later. Number 2. The WOW signal, detected August 15th, 1977, 10:16 p.m. Eastern Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope scanning Sagittarius constellation. 72 seconds of structured radio transmission from coordinates 19 Hanger 25, 27 ZU. Signal strength 30 times background noise level indicating artificial origin. Frequency 1420.45 Hz. The exact emission line of neutral hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Dr. Jerry Amon circles the alphanumeric printout. 6EQUJ5 writes, "Wow." In red ink, the signal's narrow bandwidth suggests intelligent transmission. Natural phenomena spread across frequencies. This was laser focused on hydrogen's universal frequency. SETI protocols require signal confirmation, but follow-up searches, using the same equipment, same coordinates, same time of year, reveal nothing. Robert Gray's Meta Institute conducts 40 independent searches between 1987 and 2012. Silence. The Arecibo Observatory points its 305-meter dish at the coordinates in 1987 and 1999. No detection. The signal came from empty space between star systems Tau Sagittarii and Chi Sagittarii, where nothing should exist to generate focused radio bursts. Distance calculations place the source 220 light-years away. Power requirements for transmission suggest civilization capable of channeling energy equivalent to 10 billion suns. No repeat transmission ever recorded. No similar signals detected anywhere in the universe. No source identified despite 46 years of continuous monitoring. Number 3. The London Hammer, discovered 1936 by Max and Emma Hahn hiking near London, Texas. Wooden handle and iron head embedded in Ordovician limestone dated to 400 million years old by radiometric analysis. The rock formed before land animals existed, during the Paleozoic era when Earth's continents were configured completely differently. X-ray crystallography by Carl Baugh's Creation Evidence Museum shows the iron contains 96.6% pure iron, 2.6% chlorine, 0.74% sulfur, impossible composition for 19th century metallurgy. Modern steel contains carbon for hardness. This iron shows no carbon traces. Handle shows partial permineralization, with surrounding limestone clearly formed around it through sedimentary deposition. The Hahn's son, Glenn, confirms the family found it exactly as described on Red Creek, wood and metal locked, an ancient stone that required sledgehammer blows to extract. Metallurgical analysis by Columbus Dispatch Laboratory finds iron purity levels achievable only through industrial processes unavailable before the 20th century. Yet isotopic dating of surrounding limestone confirms 400 million year formation through standard geological processes. Glenn Hahn preserves the hammer in original condition, rejecting offers from collectors and museums. Geological surveys confirm Ordovician limestone formation in Henderson County predates human civilization by hundreds of millions of years. Handle carbon-14 dates to recent centuries. Iron composition defies explanation. Rock age makes human artifact temporally impossible. Number 4. The Taos hum, first documented November 1993, affects roughly 2% of Taos, New Mexico's 5,000 residents. Low-frequency sound around 32 hertz that sensitive individuals describe as diesel engine idling in the distance. University of New Mexico investigation, led by mechanical engineer Joe Mullins, deploys sensitive acoustic equipment, electromagnetic spectrum analyzers, seismographs throughout the city. No detectable source identified despite equipment sensitive enough to detect sounds below human hearing threshold. The hum occurs inside soundproof anechoic chambers at Los Alamos National Laboratory. Affects people with acute hearing between ages 55-70 most severely, typically those living in rural areas away from urban noise pollution. Similar phenomena reported simultaneously in Bristol, England, affecting 800 residents, Bondi, Australia, with 200 confirmed cases, Windsor, Ontario, documented by University of Windsor Acoustics Laboratory. Congressional investigation in 1997 involving scientists from Los Alamos National Laboratory, Sandia National Laboratories, Phillips Air Force Base, and Kirtland Air Force Base finds no electromagnetic, seismic, or acoustic source despite sophisticated detection equipment. Team leader Dr. Joe Mullins states, "We found no definitive explanation. Sufferers report severe sleep disruption, headaches, dizziness, nosebleeds in extreme cases. Double-blind tests by University of New Mexico Psychology Department confirm affected individuals can detect the hum when control subjects cannot. MRI scans show no brain abnormalities in hearers versus non-hearers. 5,000 Taos residents surveyed door-to-door. 160 confirmed hearers identified. 0 electromagnetic sources found. 0 acoustic sources detected. 0 seismic activity correlated." Number 5. The Hessdalen Lights, first documented scientifically, August 1981 in Norway's Hessdalen Valley, 120 kilometers south of Trondheim. Bright orbs and geometrically structured lights appear 10-20 times per year, visible for duration ranging from seconds to hours. Project Hessdalen, established 1983, led by Østfold University College physicist Erling Strand, deploys radar systems, magnetometers, spectrum analyzers, infrared cameras, seismographs. Lights show up clearly on radar as solid physical objects moving through three-dimensional space. Infrared temperature measurements show no heat signature, despite brilliant visible brightness exceeding aircraft landing lights. Objects demonstrate apparently intelligent movement patterns, following automobiles along valley roads, responding to flashlight signals, avoiding aircraft flight paths. Maximum recorded speed reaches 30,000 kilometers per hour with instantaneous acceleration and 90-degree directional changes impossible for known aircraft. Some lights appear metallic and geometrically structured. Others manifest as pure plasma formations. Radio telescope at Stanford Research Institute detects synchronized radio emissions at 46.5 MHz during light manifestations. Italian National Research Council's Institute for Radio Astronomy confirms plasma-like electromagnetic properties, but identifies no known natural formation mechanism. University of Bologna. Physicists propose piezoelectric theory. Tectonic stress generates electrical fields in quartz-rich bedrock, but cannot explain structured movements. 284 documented sightings cataloged by Automatic Monitoring Station. 17 countries' scientists have studied the phenomenon, including teams from Japan, United States, Italy, France. Multiple hypotheses proposed, including ball lightning, electromagnetic plasma formations, tectonic piezoelectric effects, atmospheric refractions. None explain the apparently purposeful movements, geometric shapes, and apparent responsiveness to human activity. If you value documented scientific mysteries like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also comment from which city you're hearing this from. Now back to the story. Number 6. The Baghdad Battery, discovered 1938 by German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig in Iraq National Museum basement storage. Clay jar measuring 14 centimeters tall, containing copper cylinder and iron rod, dated to 250 BCE through ceramic analysis. Parthian Empire artifact predates Alessandro Volta's first electric battery by 2,050 years. Reconstruction by General Electric electrical engineer Willard Gray produces 1.1 volts when filled with grape juice electrolyte, sufficient current to light LED bulbs. 12 similar galvanic cells found at Kujut Rabu archaeological site near Baghdad and Ctesiphon ruins. Copper cylinders show characteristic electrochemical erosion, patterns identical to modern battery corrosion. Koenig's field notes describe asphalt plug precisely positioning iron rod inside copper tube. No other explanation for this configuration makes archaeological sense. Ancient Mesopotamian cuneiform, Texts reference divine fire and lightning captured in clay vessels. Silver jewelry excavated from contemporary Parthian sites shows microscopic electroplating evidence requiring controlled electric current impossible without galvanic cells. German Museum director Koenig hypothesizes medical galvanic treatment based on ancient Egyptian medical papyri, describing electric fish therapy. Modern replication by Mythbusters television program produces sufficient current to electroplate silver onto copper-based metal in 20 minutes using grape juice electrolyte. Archaeological context places batteries in workshops alongside silver jewelry, copper tools, and gold working equipment. 2,000-year technological gap remains unexplained. Conventional archaeology cannot account for sophisticated electrochemical knowledge predating scientific revolution. Number 7. The stone spheres of Costa Rica, discovered 1930s during United Fruit Company banana plantation clearing in Dequis. Delta. Over 300 granite spheres ranging from 3 centimeters to 2.66 meters diameter, cataloged by Harvard University's Peabody Museum. Largest sphere weighs 15 metric tons, carved from solid granite. Mathematical analysis by MIT's Department of Mathematics confirms spherical precision within 2 millimeters tolerance, more accurate than machine-tooled spheres produced. Today, created by Dequis culture between 600 1000 CE using unknown carving methods. No metal tools existed in pre-Columbian Costa Rica capable of precise granite working. Spheres positioned in straight alignments, triangular formations, astronomical, orientations pointing to magnetic north determined by geological survey. Petrographic analysis by French geologist Joseph Davidovits identifies granite source quarried 50 kilometers away in Talamanca mountain range. No roads, no wheeled vehicles, no large domesticated animals available for transport of multi-ton spheres across jungle terrain. Some spheres show evidence of controlled heating to 1,000 degrees Celsius, softening granite for carving, technique unknown to modern stoneworkers. Perfect spherical geometry requires mathematical knowledge of pi calculated to multiple decimal places and advanced measuring instruments unavailable to 7th century indigenous cultures. National Geographic expedition led by Smithsonian archaeologist Samuel Lothrop documents original positions before extensive looting for private collections. UNESCO World Heritage status, granted 2014, recognizing outstanding universal value. Engineering methodology remains completely unsolved despite decades of study by MIT, Harvard, Smithsonian Institution. Number 8. The Devil's Kettle Falls, Judge C.R. Magny State Park, Minnesota. Discovered by European explorers 1885, Brule. River splits around volcanic rhyolite outcrop 20 kilometers from Lake Superior. Eastern stream continues normally toward lake. Western stream plunges into 15-meter deep basalt cavern called Devil's Kettle with no known outlet despite 130 years of investigation. Minnesota Department of Natural Resources attempts tracing using fluorescent rhodamine dye, numbered ping pong, balls, wooden logs, biodegradable GPS tracking devices. Objects vanish completely into underground system. No dye appears in Lake Superior 8 miles downstream despite sensitive detection equipment. No underground river system mapped despite extensive hydrological surveys by University of Minnesota Geology Department. Flow rate measurements by U.S. Geological Survey show 200 cubic feet per second entering the kettle during normal conditions, enough water to supply a city of 50,000 residents. Geological surveys using ground-penetrating radar find no cavern system, large enough to accommodate that water volume permanently. High-tech GPS tracking devices worth $3,000 each dropped into kettle, never resurface or transmit signals. National Speleological Society teams explore accessible portions of the cavern system using underwater breathing equipment. Every passage ends in solid rock, dead ends within 50 meters. Water temperature entering kettle matches Brule River exactly at 4.2 degrees Celsius year-round. No temperature changes detected that would indicate large underground lakes or deep geothermal circulation. Basic physics demands the water goes somewhere. 50 years of scientific investigation finds nowhere. Number 9. The Mpemba effect, first documented by Aristotle in 4th century BCE, rediscovered independently 1963 by 17-year-old Tanzanian student Erasto Mpemba at Mkwawa Secondary School. Hot water freezes faster than cold water under specific identical conditions, violating fundamental thermodynamics principles. Mpemba's ice cream. Experiment shows boiling milk mixture freezes solid before cold mixture in same freezer compartment. Physics teacher Adrian Rogers initially ridicules the claim until controlled demonstration proves reproducible results. Dr. Dennis Osborne of a University College, Dar es Salaam conducts systematic experiments, confirming the counterintuitive effect occurs under controlled laboratory conditions. Multiple mechanisms proposed by leading physicists: enhanced evaporation, reducing total water volume, dissolved gases escaping from heated water altering freezing point, convection circulation patterns, hydrogen bonding structural changes, supercooling temperature differences. Royal Society of Chemistry announces £1,000 prize in 2012 for conclusive scientific explanation. No theory wins general acceptance after peer review. Effect remains reproducible under specific container shapes, water volumes, ambient temperatures, but not universally predictable. Temperature measurements using precision and thermocouples, controlled laboratory environments, identical metal containers show hot water reaching solid state first in roughly 30% of trials under optimal conditions. Singapore's Nanyang Technological University publishes 2013 study confirming effect with high-speed photography documentation. Basic thermodynamic laws state this phenomenon is impossible. 2,000-year-old mystery persists despite modern equipment. Number 10, the Marcoasi Plateau, discovered 1952 by Peruvian archaeologist Dr. Daniel Ruzo, located 4,000 meters above sea level in Peru's Andes Mountains. Granite rock formations spanning 4 square kilometers appear to display carved human and animal faces, visible only during specific seasonal lighting conditions. Figures include lions, elephants, camels, horses, animals never indigenous to South America. Geological analysis confirms natural granite formation through standard volcanic processes millions of years ago. Pareidolia psychological phenomenon explains simple facial recognition in random rock shapes. These formations show complex three-dimensional sculptures with anatomically correct proportions, detailed facial features, realistic animal anatomy requiring advanced artistic knowledge. Summer solstice illumination reveals sculptural figures, completely invisible during other seasons due to shadow positioning. Winter lighting conditions show entirely different sculptures in identical rocks, visible only during December sun angles. Dr. Ruzo documents over 40 distinct recognizable figures using time-lapse photography taken at precise solar positions throughout annual cycle. No tool marks detectable under magnification, despite apparent sophisticated sculpting work. Natural erosion patterns analyzed by geological survey teams cannot explain the precision geometry or seasonal visibility variations. Local Inca oral histories recorded by Spanish chroniclers speak of ancient predecessor civilization possessing technology to soften stone like clay. Archaeological evidence shows continuous human habitation for over 4,000 years, based on carbon dating of fire pits, tools, pottery fragments. Stone softening techniques remain theoretical without scientific basis. Marcahuasi Foundation conducts ongoing research with Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos, but offers no conventional explanations. Number 11. The sailing stones of Death Valley, Racetrack Playa, California, first documented scientifically 1940s by National Park Service rangers. Rocks weighing up to 700 pounds move across perfectly flat desert floor, leaving straight trails up to 1,500 feet long. No human footprints, animal tracks, or vehicle marks found near the mysterious trails. Phenomenon observed for 70 years. But actual movement never witnessed until 2014 breakthrough research. Scripps Institution cousins Richard and James Norris placed GPS sensors on 68 rocks, install automated weather monitoring stations, deploy time-lapse photography systems. Mystery solved December 20th, 2013, after 7 years of continuous monitoring. Rare rainfall event creates shallow lake across playa surface. Overnight temperatures drop below freezing, forming thin ice sheets across water. Morning sun partially melts ice into floating panels several hundred meters wide. Light winds push all. Massive ice sheets, which push rocks at measured speeds up to 5 meters per minute. Moving ice sheets make no audible sound, appear nearly invisible to observers. Rocks move only during specific weather conditions, occurring approximately every 20 to 30 years, when rainfall, freezing temperatures, and wind align perfectly. GPS tracking data shows multiple rocks move simultaneously in groups, start and stop together, follow identical parallel paths across playa. Some trails are perfectly straight for hundreds of meters across absolutely flat terrain. Ice sheet mechanism explains movement force, but cannot account for geometric precision of trails. Laser surveying shows playa surface varies less than 1 centimeter in elevation across entire 2-mile length, insufficient topographic variation to guide rock movement in straight lines. Perfect parallel trails, spaced exactly 15 meters apart, remain unexplained. Sailing stone phenomenon solved. Trail geometry mystery continues. Number 12. The bloop, recorded July 1997 by NOAA's autonomous hydrophone arrays stationed throughout Pacific Ocean for submarine detection. Ultra-low frequency sound detected simultaneously by underwater. Listening posts separated by 5,000 kilometers near coordinates 50 degrees 100 AW. Frequency pattern rises rapidly over 1 minute duration. Acoustic profile unlike any known geological, meteorological, or biological phenomenon in oceanographic databases. Sound volume sufficient for detection across entire Pacific Basin, loudest underwater sound ever recorded. Location coordinates match H.P. Lovecraft's fictional city Orlia within 3 degrees. Pure statistical coincidence noted by internet researchers. NOAA Acoustics Laboratory proposes multiple theories. Massive iceberg calving events, underwaters. Landslides, unknown deep-sea creature, classified submarine activity. Official attribution to Antarctic ice shelf fracturing released 2005, but acoustic signature doesn't match other ice-breaking recordings in NOAA database. Hydrophone technology accurately identifies blue whale calls from 1,000 kilometers distance, distinguishes ship engine types, detects underwater earthquakes magnitude 2.0 and above. The Bloop's spectrographic analysis matches none of these established categories in 15 years of comparative database research. Sound occurred once on July 4th, 1997, never repeated, despite continuous global monitoring by most sensitive underwater. Detection network ever deployed. Ocean depth at calculated source location exceeds 4,000 meters, deeper than Mount Fuji's height. No seismic activity recorded by Pacific Tsunami Warning Center during Bloop detection window. Similar unexplained sounds detected in same deep Pacific region between 1997-2002. Slow down, train, Julia. Then complete acoustic silence. Deep ocean remains 95% unexplored. Bloop source mystery officially unsolved. But here's what changes everything. In 2019, construction workers renovating the basement of Ohio State University's defunct Big Ear radio telescope facility discovered a welded metal box embedded in the building's original 1963 foundation. Inside, Jerry Eamon's personal research. Notes spanning 30 years, and a single sheet of graph paper with astronomical coordinates, transmission dates, and the handwritten phrase, "They responded once. Never again." Waiting for our reply. The coordinates match the WOW signal's source direction exactly. 19H, 25 May, 27 Degrer 03 ZU Sagittarius. The dates show Eamon continued monitoring that specific frequency in secret for 30 years after the official SETI search ended, using personal equipment in his garage. His final entry, dated 3 days before his death in 2017. The silence is the message. They know we're not ready. Some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. They're meant to be heard.